Try again. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, that is much better. From the campus of UMass Boston at Monin Park, we are set for a Little East baseball doubleheader. There's your matchup. The UMass Dartmouth Corsairs and the UMass Boston Beacons. Mike Drew here with you on what is a beautiful day here in the city of Boston. 70 degrees is what it's going to hit. A nice calm breeze out there right now. Shouldn't affect the balls in play too much today, but we'll see. You see the disparity in records between those two teams as we move into the all-time series graphic. UMass Dartmouth with the edge all-time 48-32, but UMass Boston has taken 9 of the last 10. And you see in the last meeting column there, these two teams met in the Little East title game just 2 seasons ago, the last time we played a full season. And UMass Boston coming out on top behind Brendan Eigebrodt with the 8-2 victory. The only time in program history that UMass Boston has gone to the College World Series. In terms of today, 4 things to know. UMass Boston has beat this team twice, I should say, in that 2019 Little East tournament, as we just talked about. 2-1-11 the first time, and then 8-2 to win the title. Corsairs have won 3 games in a row coming in for the first time all year, and they have played 15 games to the Beacons 4 coming in. And originally, they were not set to be the opponent here today. This was going to be Plymouth State in for this doubleheader, but COVID issues in the Plymouth program forcing that to get juggled, and so UMass Dartmouth takes their place here for this doubleheader today. Both these games will count for conference play, as we said. This the 100th game all-time for UMB here at Monin Park, and you see the incredible run of success since this place opened back in 2016. 77-22, the all-time record. Got to watch on the UMD side, Eric Ramirez, 38th in Division III, coming in just under a steal per game, but he is perfect, 12 for 12 when swiping bags. Well, we mentioned that Little East title game back in 2019, the 8-2 win that sent the Beacons to the College World Series. Now let's take a look back.
Baruda fires a 2-2. Swing and a miss there. And this one hit hard out into right. Moving over is Vartanian. He lays out and it's going to get by him. Vartanian back to his feet quickly. Now at the fence, throwing one in. This one coming to the plate. It won't be in time. Boston strikes first as Josh Lopez is across the plate. This one hit out into right. Moving over is Vartanian, who makes the grab. Runner tags up. Nothing they'll be able to do from that distance. 2-0 now as Budrich crosses home plate. That one on the inside corner, and that will do it for the bottom of the 3rd inning. This one chopped into left. It's going to get down. Chris Wood over to greet it and send it in. It's going to be a double. This one hit high into right, carrying, and Vartanian makes the grab, and tagging up there and moving are both runners. One will cross the plate. 2-2, and they're going to say Nell went around on that. And bunt put down here. They're going to go to second. They get him. And down to first, bunting into a double play there is Harrington, and that will empty the base path. 2-0 count. This one hit hard out into right. Vartanian moving over, and still it's going to be over his head. Barehands it, not a bad play there, but still 2 runs heading home right next to each other. The throw in, not in time. This one chomped into short and over the glove of Di Sarcina. 2 balls, 2 strikes as this one hit hard by Budrich to right. Vartanian going back, and this one's over his head and up against the wall. 3 bags for Kyle Budrich as he's in standing. Dessia deals. This one hit hard out into left, going back, and that one is off the wall. Now into second is Riley. 3-1, this one cracked toward third. Riley has it, the throw to second, the throw down to first. Double play. This one cracked to short. Yuki has it, throw to second. And the UMass Boston Beacons have won the LEC playoff tournament and will receive a bid into the NCAA regionals.
And the Beacons looking for a repeat of that here in 2021. Again, that was the only time that this program has gone to the College World Series, and it was against this opponent. Well, one player to watch in this doubleheader today for sure. The main man in this UMB lineup, Curtis Tyrone. D3 transfer from Suffolk, and what hasn't he done to this point is probably the better question. You see what he's done so far this season, 7 out of 14. Hit safely in 3 of the 4 matchups. Time now to check the opponent's batting order for UMass Dartmouth. And there's a familiar name for those here in the New England area leading off, J.R. DiSarcina, the son of Gary. We'll talk about that as we go today. He's at second. Eric Ramirez at short. Mike Nell at third base. DJ Perron in right field. Mitch Baker, the catcher. Jose Vasquez is at first. Andrew Bryant, the DH. Tucker Heatherman, a two-way player. He's in left batting 8th. And Matthew Klett is in center. He bats 9th. Out in the field for UMB, Brendan Igebrook going with these guys today. Aiden Blake at third. Gianni Zarilli at short. Sullivan at second. Corliss at first. An outfield of Q, Irvine, and Duco. And Nico Kites is behind the plate. You see the starter, Tim Cianciolo for UMass Boston. We'll give you his numbers when he gets out there to the mound. We'll take a pause right now. National anthem about to take place, and then we have game 1 of this doubleheader between Brendan Igebrook's Beacons and Bob Prince's Corsairs. Back in a moment.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you're primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Getting set for Game 1 of this Little East doubleheader. We will have 2 9-inning games here today. Normally in a situation like this, you'd see 7-inning games, but with the season as abbreviated as it is, trying to maximize every game that we get. So 2 9-inning affairs today between the Corsairs and the Beacons. On the mound for UMass Boston here in Game 1. You see him tossing right there. It's the right-hander Tim Cianciolo. Second start for him, 3 innings in his first appearance. No runs, no hits. He did walk 2, but struck out 5. So he comes in on a high note, and he gets set to face the UMass Dartmouth order, J.R. DiSarcina. The second baseman leads it off. This is a UMass Dartmouth team under head coach Bob Prince, who's in his 10th year in the program, who won 9 of their first 10 out of the gate last year. That was their best start in 25 years. And then, of course, COVID shut down everything. But this team was destined for success last year, and the shutdown really hit their guys hard, but they have grinded their way through all the COVID protocols, just as the Beacons have to this point. And they enter this game, as we told you, at 6-9, but 4-3 in conference play. DiSarcina stepping in, and we are just about set to go. Game 2 will get underway around 3 o'clock, we hope. Last week's doubleheader here took 8 hours, and I would just implore everybody that's out there right now not to repeat that. But we shall see. DiSarcina in, and away we go with the first pitch from Cianciolo. And it misses high. DJR at 286. And the 1-0 is popped up into shallow left center. Going out there, the shortstop, Zorilli. He calls for it and goes down, but ends up making the catch. Well, the winds did kind of mess with that a little bit. We told you when we came on that the winds wasn't much of a factor then, but that ball just kind of kept turning. And Zorilli managed to find it with those sunglasses on. And he puts away DiSarcina for the first out. So already a little bit of an adventure out there, and here is Eric Ramirez, the shortstop. After a quick first out, Cianciolo fires, and that's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. Ramirez, 288, couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. He has started all 15 of their games. Fastball misses low and away, 2-0. They do have some swingers in this early part of the lineup. Already saw DiSarcina, of course, now Ramirez, Mike Nell, DJ Perrin after him. 2-0 is a big rip, and that's fouled off to the right. UMass Dartmouth just 2-6 on the road through their first 15. Beacons hoping that continues here today. Here's the 2-1. And he laces that one foul off to the right, out of play as well. UMass Dartmouth coming off a doubleheader sweep over Keene State. That was earlier this week. 2-2. Skips in, and now it's a full count. Cianciolo ready with the payoff. And that is a lace out into deep left center. That ball is back, and it is gone. Eric Ramirez goes deep, home run number 3. That thing just kept carrying out of here, and UMass Dartmouth takes the early lead. Off the bat, that thing looked like it was going to hit off the wall, but it just kept rising. And over the yellow line, out there over the makeshift mini monster out there for the home run. So 1-0, UMass Dartmouth sprints out of the gate here. And here is Mike Nell, the third baseman, set to hit. He takes a big swing and fouls it at the plate. Nell at 259, but you got to be careful with this guy. He's got 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in, a .586 slugging percentage. Told you the early part of this order has some major threats. The 0-1 misses high. And if the ball that Ramirez hit is any indication, this is going to be quite a day for hitters. If the ball's going to carry like that, 1-1 is at the bottom of the zone for a strike. Cianciolo looking to get back on track. Here's the 1-2. Big swing and a miss. He went with the high heater and got him 2 down. First strikeout of the day. So 2 down with the run in, and here is DJ Perron. The major threat in their order right here, definitely their best hitter. He comes in at 407, and he takes a good breaking ball for a strike. 407 the average in 59 at-bats. 2 homers, 15 RBIs. But he's got 8 doubles, 24 total hits, and he rolls this one over to third. Aiden Blake up with that long throw across in plenty of time, and that retires the side. So Cianciolo limits the damage, but a 1-out solo blast by Eric Ramirez has made this 1-0 UMass Dartmouth as we go to the bottom of the first.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
On to the bottom of inning number 1 now. UMass Dartmouth sprinting out in front in game 1. They've taken a 1-0 lead. And now the Beacons try to respond. And they'll have Chris Duco, their right fielder, leading things off here against the UMass Dartmouth starter, the right-hander Ryan Bruning. This is a guy who typically pounds the strike zone. He's got 3 pitches. Fastball, slider, changeup that he'll use really in any count. All 3 of them with good movement. Not overpowering with the velocity. He usually works around the mid-80s. 89 will really be the top of the zone that he'll hit. But he's a guy who locates well. That's all courtesy of his pitching coach, George Bent, we talked to the other day. But they expect a good outing here. And he has been staked to the early lead. So here's Duco to lead things off. Comes in at 400 in 10 at-bats. No homers, he's driven in 1. The first pitch from Bruning is a good change right there for strike one. Duco, Gianni Zerilli, and Curtis Tyrone, the top third of the UMB order. And the 0-1 is tapped off the bare hand of Bruning. He gets off the mound and recovers to make the throw to first for out number one. And that thing on one hop hit his pitching hand, but he was able to stay with it, get off the rubber, and make a nice throw over for the out. So one up and one down, and here is Zerilli now. For his first at-bat of the day, Gianni Zerilli Jr. 313, no homers, and 3 runs batted in, and a good slider on the outside corner. Bruning ready with the 0-1. He works fast, and he misses up and in. One 1 is a big cut and a miss. Another slider to make it 1-2. And Bruning already ready to go again. 1-2 pitches, a little cue shot to the right. Vasquez, the first baseman, gets over there, underhands it to first in time. But that was a little excuse me swing right there, but good athleticism by Vasquez to get over there, and Bruning to hustle all the way to first base. The first two have been set down, and here is our player to watch coming in, Curtis Tyrone. 14 at-bats, he's hitting .500. No homers and 4 runs batted in, and Bruning continues to pound the zone, 0-1. 2 triples in the early going for Tyrone, and he taps the 0-1 up the middle. Shortstop Ramirez to his left makes the throw across, and that is an easy 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Ryan Bruning. And after one in game 1 of this doubleheader, UMass Dartmouth on top 1-0.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Tim Cianciolo back out there for inning number 2. 1-0 is the UMass Dartmouth lead here in game 1 of this doubleheader. The Beacons in the midst of playing 16 games in 26 days. And it has been a season that's just been all over the place for the Beacons, as it has been for everybody, obviously, with all the COVID protocols. This team had a COVID pause after their second practice of the season. Couldn't do anything for 10 days. And the first time they practiced as a full team was 3 days before their opener back on the 13th. Of course, it has been a mostly remote school year here, as it has been in a lot of places. First pitch here is swung on and hit well in the air to right, but foul and out of play over by the parking garage. Craig Corliss, the first baseman, is the batter. Or, excuse me, we flipped over now. That would help. Mitch Baker, the catcher, is our batter. 327 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. And the 0-1 is swung on and fouled off to the right again. No fans in attendance at any of these games here on the UMass Boston campus. But both these teams just happy to be out there playing. The 0-2, just missed. Right there on the outside corner. Didn't get the call. And the 1-2, now on the way to Baker. Missed with that one clearly, 2-2. Cianciolo looking for another punch out, instead a tapper foul over by the UMass Dartmouth dugout. After this, Beacons will next be in action on Tuesday, scheduled to be at Southern Maine for another conference game, as this one misses down and the count is full. All 16 games on the UMass Boston schedule will be conference games. Supposed to play each team in the league twice. Wave and a miss. And Cianciolo avoids putting the leadoff man on here in the second. Second punch out for him. So with one man down, here is Jose Vasquez, the first baseman. Jose at .213. No homers, he's driven in 3. And he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the right. A lot of changes this year for obvious reasons. That's the case for everybody. The 0-1 is a little cue shot over the outstretched glove of Zerilli at short into left center for a base hit. He was inches away from reeling in number 2. Out number 2, I should say, but just over the outstretched glove. So a one-out single will send in the DH Andrew Bryant. Talking about all these changes, though, specifically on the pitching staff for UMass Boston, they've had to really rethink what their rotation is going to look like. First pitch to Bryant, misses up and away. Dylan Fashion-Poor, the ace of this squad, out injured right now, and it's very much up in the air whether he'll even pitch this year. Already 4 games, counting this one now, 5 games into a 16-game schedule as this one's fouled back to the screen. A lot of guys have had to step up into big-time roles here, including Cianciolo. Look over to the runner at first, Vasquez. 1-1 pitch coming to Bryant. Is a little cue shot down the third base side, but foul. Aiden Blake couldn't get over in time. Eight of the 9 seniors from last year's UMass Boston team are gone. They graduated out. Their top 4 starting pitchers, 2 of their top 4 starting pitchers, I should say, and 2 veteran relievers all gone. They have had to totally reinvent themselves. And as Brendan Eigebrodt said earlier this week, he just wants his guys to have better command of their secondary pitches. That's been a problem early, as this was a fastball popped up on the right side of the infield, and over to make the play is Sullivan, the second baseman, for the second out. The 2 down, and that'll send in the left fielder Tucker Heatherman. Told you this guy is a two-way player. We could see him on the mound at some point today, depending on the situation. Comes in at 286. He only played in 5 of their games, but does have a home run and 2 runs batted in. Pitch from Cianciolo is in there for a strike right at the bottom of the zone. And it's 0-1. big swing and a miss at the 0-1 pitch. He challenged him with the heater up, and he couldn't get to it. It's 0-2. Don't think they'd do anything with Vasquez, the runner at first, with an 0-2 count, but we'll see. He's not going, and the pitch just misses inside. Makes it 1-2. Cianciolo trying to pick up his third strikeout in the first 2 innings and put a 0 up there for the first time, as Vasquez bluffed it first that time, and the pitch misses outside. 2-2. Well, you've got to make your hay against the bottom of the order here for UMass Dartmouth, because, as we've already talked about, the top half is full of power. And if you put guys on for them, you are asking for trouble. 2-2, wave and a miss. And Cianciolo does his job there, puts up his first scoreless inning of the day, and comes up with his third strikeout. Through an inning and a half, still 1-0 UMass Dartmouth in game 1.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Back for the bottom of the second, and the quick working Ryan Bruning is back out there to face 4, 5, and 6 for UMass Boston here. Craig Corliss, Thomas Q, and Nico Kites will be the batters. It was a very quick and efficient 1-2-3 first for Bruning. 3 groundouts. 1 back to him on the mound, 1 to first, and 1 to short. As Corliss stands in now, the cleanup man for the Beacons. 471 in 17 at-bats. No homers, 5 runs driven in. And Bruning's first one is a fastball right there on the inside corner. This is a guy who is the perfect type of pitcher for modern baseball. Here's another ground ball to short, 2-hopper to Ramirez, and that is 4 up and 4 down with 4 ground ball outs, which will send in Thomas Q. But you can already tell the way Bruning works is something that has really just developed over time, and he is ready to pitch before Q even steps into the box, and he fires a breaking ball that misses up and in. I mean, he does not waste any time. Gets the ball back from the catcher, Mitch Baker, and he's ready to grip and rip. He moves the game along. 1-0 is tapped over to third. Mike Nell has that, make it 5 consecutive ground ball outs to start the game. So Q goes down, and now Nico Kites, the catcher, who has started 2 of the 3 games he's appeared in, 9 at-bats so far, and he's 1 for 9. First pitch from Bruning right there again for strike 1. He's getting ahead, and he's pounding the strike zone here early. 0-1, misses low and in, and that's the other thing. When he's missing, it's not by much. Beacon so far not getting very many pitches to drive. That slider is right there on the inside corner. Kites shaking his head. There's nothing he can do with that. 1-2 pitch. Yep, it is a strikeout. Called strike 3. Took a long time for the call to come in from the home plate umpire. But that was a nasty slider on the outside part of the plate. Down goes Kites. And another fast inning for Ryan Bruning in game 1 of a doubleheader. Through 2, 1-0 UMD.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
On to inning number 3 here in game 1. 1-0 UMass Dartmouth. And the bottom of their order, Matthew Klett, the number 9 man, the center fielder, about to lead things off. And then we'll be back up to DiSarcina and Ramirez, whose solo home run has us where we are right now at 1-0. Cianciolo put up a 0 in the second and trying to keep this a 1-run ball game right now. With Bruning looking very tough on the other side. But here's Klett, and he squares the bunt, ends up taking a strike. Klett at just 130 in 23 at-bats. Driven in 3, and the 0-1 is popped up. Sky high, left side of the infield. Zerilli, does he see this one better than he did the first? He does. He puts it away for out number 1, so no fall into the turf this time around. 1 away, and back up to the top of the order we go to DiSarcina. JR, the son of Gary, a native of Barnstable, Mass, on the Cape as he takes a breaking ball for a strike. A lot of Cape guys in this doubleheader today. Gary, of course, had played with the Angels, been on the coaching staff of the Red Sox. That misses upstairs, 1-1. Currently, the third base coach for the New York Mets is Gary DiSarcina. That one's in there for a strike to make it 1-2. So baseball for sure in this family. JR, one of the best young players on the Cape, coming up as the 1-2 is grounded to short and handled there by Zerilli. Cross for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, and back to Eric Ramirez we go. He scorched a line drive home run that barely got out of here in left center back in the first inning. It was a ball that just kept rising and carrying. And it went up and over the mini monster wall out there in left center, and he was trying to go there again, but came up empty. Outfield is playing very deep out there in left center, both Hugh and Irvine. 0-1 pitch is rocketed by the dive of Blake, And into left for a base hit, so Ramirez easily with the two best swings of this game so far is on again. It's 2 for 2. So after the 2-out single, here is Mike Nell. Strikeout victim back in the first. Ramirez will run, as we told you at the top. 12 for 12 in stolen bases thus far. See if he wants to go. He doesn't on the first pitch, which is taken for a strike by Nell. In the danger zone of this order right now. Top 5 guys can all hit it out. Long look in here from Cianciolo, and now they'll throw back over to first. I mean, Ramirez does not hide what he's trying to do. He gets on base. At some point in the at-bat, he wants to go. And here he goes on the 0-1. It was a hit and run, and he fouled it straight back to the screen, did Nell. Make it 0-2, but if he had taken that pitch, Ramirez, I think, has second base stolen easily. Pretty powerful thing to be a base runner and take off to try and steal a base when everybody in the ballpark knows what you're trying to do, and yet you can still do it. Basically at will. He hasn't been thrown out yet. And timeout called here before the 0-2 pitch. Ramirez is dancing around over there at first base trying to stay loose. I wouldn't think he'd be running on 0-2, but who knows? He's not. And the 0-2 is swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. Again, the average for Nell is only 258, but the reason he's in the 3-hole in the order is he's got 5 home runs. So even with 2 strikes, you got to be really careful here. And Ramirez is going. Pitch misses up and in, and he is now 13 for 13 as the ball goes into center field, and he'll go up and take third. So Keides behind the plate. Not the best throw down to second, and it got away and out into center field, and now just 90 feet separates Ramirez from scoring again. That is what speed can do for you. A home run, a single, a stolen base. Now he's at third. By the way, it's a stolen base and an error from Keides on the throw. And now the 1-2 to Nell is fouled back. So Ramirez steals second, goes to third on the E2. And now Nell trying to drive in another run. And a big spot here for Cianciolo. 1-2 pitch. And he got him on the outside corner. Good breaking ball, and Keides spotted it. And he made a big pitch right there to escape that jam. So through 2.5, it is 1-0 UMass Dartmouth in Game 1 of the doubleheader.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
All right, so as we come back for the bottom of the third, we'll take you back to the strikeout that ended the last half inning. Cianciolo able to retire Mike Nell with this beautiful breaking ball, as you see it. Spotted well by Kites, too, but it was right there on the outside corner, and they strand Ramirez at third base. Keeps it a one-run game, and now the bottom third of the UMass Boston order take their first cuts here against Ryan Bruning. Here's Aiden Blake. Breaking ball on the inner part of the plate for strike one. Aiden coming in at 333 as he takes ball one low and away. No home runs. He's driven in one. He's only had 6 at-bats. 1-1 misses away. Aiden Blake, Jason Sullivan, Ben Irvine, the 3 hitters doing this inning. Here's another ground ball to the right side. Sarcina has it. And on to first. 1 man down. So the string of ground ball outs continuing here for Ryan Bruning. 6 of the 7 guys he's retired have come on ground balls. Here's Jason Sullivan now, the second baseman, trying to end that stretch. He's trying to get on. He takes a fastball for strike one. Sullivan 9 at-bats. He's 3 for 9 with a run batted in, as he grounds this one just foul down the third base side by a foot or two. And he's behind 0-2 here. So again, Bruning getting ahead and not giving many pitches to hit here in the early portion of this game. That one's way outside. And he's ready to go with the 1-2. Good night. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Sullivan knew it. Boy, he has pinpoint command here early. 2 up and 2 down. That's his second punch out. Both of his strikeouts have been looking. He's gotten Kites, he's gotten Sullivan, and now Irvine with a big hack. And he fouls it off to the left out of play. Irvine 167 in 12 at-bats. No home runs. He's driven in 2. And a check swing, but a called strike anyway. 0-2. Bruning trying to make quick work of the Beacons again, but he misses up and away here. 1-2 pitch is chopped right to Vasquez at first. He takes it himself. Ho-hum. Another ground ball out, and that is as dominating a first 3 innings as you're going to see. Ryan Bruning off to a tremendous start. In game 1 of the doubleheader, 1-0 Corsairs after 3.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
As we come back for the 4th, we'll go back and take a look at the punch-out by Bruning in the last inning going against Jason Sullivan. And I mean, this is just a fastball right on the black. For a right-handed hitter, there's nothing you can do with that pitch. His second strikeout, all of his other outs have come on ground balls through the first 3 innings. He has been lights out so far, and that makes it all the more important for Cianciolo to keep this game right where it is at 1-0, because it looks like it's going to be very difficult for the Beacons to scratch across some runs here in this first game of the doubleheader. DJ Perron, the right fielder, set to stand in again. He grounded to third his first time up. Cianciolo has yet to have a 1-2-3 inning. Be tough to do it here. He's facing 4, 5, and 6 in the UMD order. First one to Perron is laced, but foul off to the right. Hit off the third level of the garage up there. Another guy who's got big-time power. He's hit a couple of home runs this year. They're setting up away, and the 0-1 is fouled off to the right again. Oh and 2. Cianciolo trying to make quick work here, and this is fouled right back to the screen. Oh, 2 on the way, and a check swing. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, so Perron stays up there. And now a 1-2. That's right there. On the outer black, strike 3 called, and that is strikeout number 4 for Cianciolo, 1 away. One man down, and now the catcher, Mitch Baker. He struck out swinging his first time. And he takes this one inside for ball 1. Good pitching matchup so far here in game 1. 1-0. Is hit in the air to left. Racing back on this is Q. He's going to have to play it off the scoreboard. And it took a good bounce right back to Irvine in center. And that's going to hold Baker to a long single. Well, you see stuff like this happen with the actual Green Monster down the road at Fenway. And it happened here on that play as well. A ball hit that hard off the wall almost anywhere else is going to be an automatic double. But here, it took a straight carom back to Irvine, the center fielder. And thus, Baker had to hold at first base. So that's a break for the Beacons. Now Jose Vasquez, who reached on a single his first time, swings at the first one, hits it in the air to right. Duco started in, now has to go back, and it's over his head. Heading into third is Baker. They're going to wave him around. Throw is going to be cut off, and it's 2-0 on an RBI triple for Vasquez. Well, you could tell that one was going to be trouble right off the bat. Duco there in right field. His first step was in. And then that ball just kept carrying over his head. One hop to the wall out there by the UMass Dartmouth bullpen. And Vasquez going to third. So this is big-time trouble for the Beacons here. Especially considering who they're facing on the mound in this game. Infield is still playing back at this point. Here's Andrew Bryant. And that one ran in. Did it hit him or the bat? They're going to check his hand. And it hit him is going to be the ruling. So down to first base he goes. You couldn't tell from the sound whether it hit him or it hit his bat. But they're going to give him first base after the judicial review. So the hit by pitch puts runners on the corners, but the one thing it does is it puts the double play back in order here, and now we're going to have a meeting with Cianciolo, who is not missing many bats here in this inning. So you got Vasquez at third, Bryant at first. Tucker Heatherman is going to be the batter. And as Brendan Eigenbrot goes out there to chat, it is really critical that the Beacons don't let this lead stretch any further for the Corsairs. Ryan Bruning has been outstanding. 9 up and 9 down. And if you're the Beacons, obviously, you're hoping you have better looks at him the second time through. But to this point, he has been a very tough customer. So it's 2-0. Runners on the corners, 1 down. Here's Heatherman. Did strike out his first time back in the second. They got Blake in on the lip of the grass at third. Everybody else is straight up. Corliss has to hold the runner at first. Pitch to Heatherman is a strike on the outside corner. Might have been a generous call. But Cianciolo will take it. It's 0-1. And a bluff as they try to check on Bryant at first. Andrew Bryant has 1 stolen base attempt this year, but he was caught. 0-1. Up and away. Almost a mini pitch out there. If Bryant takes off, be interesting to see what Keides behind the plate does, because if you throw down to second, Vasquez, the runner at third, could try to come charging home. That's a play that every team has in their playbook. 1-1 is skied into left center. Hugh, the left fielder, is called off by Irvine, who makes the catch. Here comes Vasquez tagging. Throw to the plate. He's out. And that is a huge double play turned by the Beacons to keep it 2-0. Great throw by Irvine on a couple of hops to the plate, and Vasquez was dead to rights. As we go to the bottom of the 4th in Game 1, it is still 2-0.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
All right, back we come for the bottom of the 4th. Huge moment in this game that we just had. On the fly ball into left center, watch this throw by Ben Irvine. As the ball is hit out into left center off the bat of Heatherman. Looks like it was headed for left, but Irvine, the center fielder, called off, made the catch. Look at this throw to the plate. Not even close. Vasquez, the runner at third, is out. And we may look back on that moment as the play that got the Beacons going here in Game 1 of the doubleheader. 1-0 the count on Duco. Second time through the order now for Bruning. They check down to first base, and it's 2-0 here. UMass Dartmouth really had a chance to stretch things out in that inning, but that was a huge double play. The breaking ball is in there for a strike. Going to be tough enough against Bruning here with a 2-run deficit, as the 2-1 runs in and almost hits him. Makes it 3-1. Beacons would love to just get a man on. They haven't had any stress on Bruning to this point. This one is grounded to second. DiSarcina up with that, and Duco cannot take advantage of a 3-1 count. 1 away. Another ground ball out. I mean, this is getting a little ridiculous at this point. 8 of the 10 Beacon hitters have been retired with ground balls. Now squaring around the bunt is Zerilli, but it missed inside. Somehow it didn't hit him. Just managed to get his leg out of the way. 1-0. He doesn't square this time. Instead, takes a hack and comes up empty. Zerilli grounded to first his first time up. This one misses low. 2-1 pitch is swung on and hit well into left. Back at the wall, it is gone. Gianni Zerilli leaves the yard. And the Beacons get on the scoreboard here in the fourth. It's 2-1. Home run number 1 for Zerilli. The first hit, the first base runner, all in one there for the Beacons. And they get their first run. Sorely needed. As here's Tyrone, who's 0 for 1. He swings and hits one into the corner and right. That's going to get down. And it's going to one-hop over the wall for a ground rule double. So all of a sudden, the Beacons taking some better swings against Bruning here in the fourth inning. That home run by Zerilli, pretty similar to the one hit by Eric Ramirez for UMass Dartmouth earlier in the game. Off the bat, looked like it might be off the wall or even a fly ball out, but it just kept carrying over that wall in left center. And then Tyrone follows it up with the double. So here's Corliss, who takes a first pitch strike. Bruning finally being hit a little bit and put under some pressure. 0-1, misses outside. That ball that Tyrone had hit had been another 5 feet or so to the right. Might have been close to getting out of here down that right field line. Here's the 1-1. Big cut and a miss. 1-2. This is a situation that Brendan Eigebrot knows his team needs to improve in. Runners in scoring positions, situational baseball. Got to get this run in to tie the game here. Infield dancing around a little bit. 1-2 is a called strike 3. And that one hurts as Corliss goes down. 2 away. That'll send in Thomas Q. 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Tyrone standing out there at second is the tying run. The first pitch to Q misses high. Definitely a guy you'd want to have up in this spot through just 7 at-bats, but he's got the highest average on the team. 4 for 7 coming into today, now 4 for 8. And he's driven in 2 runs. Trying to hit a rocket somewhere. 1-0. And he does, but it's straight back foul. Starting to see some guys stir around a little bit down in the UMass Boston bullpen. I think it's just some preliminary stretching going on right now. As here's a bluff. Tyrone back second. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Both sides would love to have their starters go as far as possible. Here's the 1-1. Misses low and away. They're going to throw down to second. Oh, Tyrone very nearly was picked. That would have been a disastrous way to end the inning. Tyrone there at second base. Little too far off the bag for comfort, and Mitch Baker almost picked him off. Beacon's very fortunate to still be up there. Here's the 2-1. That is into the corner and right. It is foul. Hit pretty well, but it hooked a little too far to the right. Bruning trying to get out of this. 2-2 pitch. Misses high. Interesting scene here the last couple minutes. You have a lacrosse game that's just getting ready to start to our left. They were playing the national anthem, and there were a few people in the UMass Dartmouth dugout who didn't know what to do. Regardless, 3-2 pitch, and it just missed inside. So a 2-out walk, and the inning prolongs for Nico Kites. Well, unquestionably, it has been the most strenuous inning for Bruning to this point. It had been easy peasy here until the fourth. But now first and second, 2 down for Kites. Takes ball 1. He struck out his first time, and now looks like you're going to have the pitching coach, George Bent, go out there for a chat with Bruning, who has lost his command a little bit here in this fourth inning. You look down to the UMD bullpen, and all the guys are just hanging out over the right field fence. Nobody stretching or starting to warm up, as you would expect. Bruning was terrific here to start this game, and now just needs to lock in again. That slider that had been so good in the first 3 innings of this one has lost a little bit of its bite here in the fourth inning. Now he's just trying to lock back in. But the Beacon's trying to prolong this rally. Here's the 1-0. And it ran in and clipped him. So Kites will take his base. That was a fastball that got away. And now the bases are loaded with 2 down for Aiden Blake. Bounced out to second his first time. The average over 300 coming in with 1 RBI. Base hit here could give him a couple more. He takes a fastball on the outer edge. Tyrone at third, Q at second, Kites at first. 0-1 to Blake. Breaking ball just missed. Boy, just barely to make it 1-1. Bob Prince, the UMass Dartmouth dugout, scratching his head on that one. 1-1. Misses down in the dirt. Good block by Baker. Key spot here in game 1 of the doubleheader. 2-1 pitch is hit hard down the right field line, but foul. Hits off a pole on the parking garage, which is getting weared out a little bit on these foul balls. 2-2 the count. Bases loaded, 2 down, 1-run game. Misses outside, and the count is full. Well, one more like that will tie the game. 3-2 pitch. Runners go. And he just got a piece of it at the plate to foul it off. Three and two on Blake. Payoff pitch is hit hard and caught! Diving catch by Ramirez in left. He has been all over game one of the doubleheader, and he just saved 2 runs with a sensational diving play to his right. Wow. We are through 4. Still 2-1 Corsairs thanks to Eric Ramirez. What a play.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
The UMass Boston Beacons baseball team, who went 23-15 this year, and have consistently been a leader in their conference without having a home field to play on. That will change next season.
I am so happy and excited to join Boston College High School and your wonderful president to celebrate this symbol of our institution's friendship as well as our shared commitment.
Back for the 5th, and UMass Dartmouth still in the lead in game 1 of this doubleheader thanks to a sensational diving catch by their shortstop Eric Ramirez. Here it was, bases loaded, 2 out, full count, and Aiden Blake rips it. But Ramirez diving to his right, full extension. If that ball gets by him, the Beacons are going to take the lead. And just a terrific catch. And Ramirez with a home run, with a single, a stolen base, and now that diving play. He is all over the first game of this doubleheader. Some heartbreak for UMass Boston there in the 4th inning. Bruning escapes with just the 1 run given up. And now we move to the 5th. 9-1-2 for UMass Dartmouth against Cianciolo. And Matthew Klett leads it off. He popped out to short his first time. They have Blake in on the grass at third for a possible bunt. Instead, he swings away and fouls it back over us. Well, a very competitive first game of the doubleheader. 2 guys on the mound were trying to gut their way through it. 0-1 misses downstairs. Again, game 2 scheduled to begin around 3 o'clock. And that will be another 9-inning game. 1-1 misses down and in. Just about an hour into this one. And we're pretty close to the halfway point. 2-1 misses down. Now, a huge inning here for Cianciolo. After his team managed to get 1 on the board in the last half inning. Needing a shutdown here. 3-1. Oh, what a play right back at him. And he flips to first for the out. Hello, Cianciolo. That thing was hit hard, but a perfect carom right into the glove. So 1 down, and now I think that was a member of the UMass Dartmouth bullpen that had to just do a 100-yard dash to get off the field. Back there in the bullpen. Anyway, field is clear, and DeSarcina, the batter, takes a break ball down. JR is 0 for 2. Popped short, grounded to short. And the 1-0 is popped foul. This will be back up and over our heads. Cianciolo has done well to keep DiSarcina, the leadoff man, off the bases. It's been the guys after him who've been the problem today. 2-0. And this one is hit high in the air to right, but foul. Mentioned there are several Cape guys that we're going to see in this doubleheader here today. JR, as we talked about, from Barnstable. His teammate Matthew Klett also from there, as this one is topped over to third, and Blake is up with that, fires across. 2 up and 2 down. Good start to the 5th inning for Cianciolo, which will send in the star of this game so far, Eric Ramirez. He is the reason that the Corsairs have the lead here in the 5th inning. This game has been all about number 3. 2 for 2 with a homer and a single. And he went around on that one, looked like. Yes, he did, 0-1. Now up to 3 home runs and 9 RBIs on the year. And the 0-1 is chopped foul over into his dugout. And a perfect 13 for 13 in stolen bases. The diving catch out at short. This guy can do just about everything. Cianciolo trying to retire him. Kites up out of the crouch, and they went high and he chased. So Cianciolo with a huge strikeout, and that is his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Couldn't have come at a better time for UMass Boston halfway through game 1 of the doubleheader. 2-1 Corsairs. Back in a moment.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Ryan Bruning back out there for his 5th inning of work. He faces 8-9-1 here. Jason Sullivan starts it off. And he swings and hits one high in the air to left. Down the line, it is a foul ball. Not by much. That thing kept carrying down toward the 310 sign in straightaway left. It was a long run over there for Tucker Heatherman, and that just did hit in foul territory. For a second, you thought it might have a chance to get out. The way that the wind has played a role in left and left center today. But just a harmless strike. And now the 0-1 is a good breaking ball, 0-2. And, ooh, that one got away and ended up behind Sullivan's back. Haven't seen one get away from Bruning like that to this point. Now the 1-2. And he yanked fastball, 2-2. Game 2 starter for UMass Dartmouth is going to be Logan Maitland. Here's a swing and a miss as Sullivan was off balance for out number 1. We'll send in Ben Irvine, but Maitland is set to go in Game 2. Both he and Ryan Bruning are very good friends with Dylan Ryan on the UMass Boston staff. This one misses upstairs to Irvine. 1-0 is hit off the end of the bat into left center. It's going to get down and into the gap. Heatherman gets over to play it. He bobbles it. Throw into second is cut off. It's a double. So Irvine sliced one out into the gap in left center field. And the tying run back in scoring position here for the Beacons. So the one-out double, third time through the order now. Here's Chris Duco. 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. Fastball away. Now Bruning, who had such impeccable command for the first 3 innings today, is off just a little bit now. Starting to show just a couple of dents in the armor. 1-0 misses up and away. Question is, can UMass Boston capitalize on it? They got the home run from Zerilli last inning to get on the board, but could not add to it. Sensational defense by Ramirez had a lot to do with that. 2-0 is right there for a strike. And Zerilli standing in the on-deck circle here. Beacons would love to give him a chance in this inning. 2-1 coming to Duco. And almost ran in and brushed his sleeve. But it's 3-1. Duco had a 3-1 count last time up, and he grounded to second. If he takes better advantage of it here. And he does. He takes ball 4 high. So he reaches on the one-out walk and the second walk of the game issued by Bruning. So here's Zerilli. The home run his last time up, which just kept carrying over the wall in left center, and now here comes Bob Prince out to the mound. He's going to bring the infield in with him to have a chat here with Bruning. We look down to the UMass Dartmouth bullpen. There is a right-hander throwing out there, and that's going to be it. So Ryan Bruning walks off. He got off to a terrific start in this game, but he leaves in the 5th inning with first and second, 1 out, and Gianni Zerilli coming to the plate. So we'll take a timeout, update you on the new Corsairs pitcher when we come back. Another big moment here in Game 1 of the doubleheader as the Beacons have knocked out Bruning.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
All right, so out of the pen, here is the right-hander, Zach Del Vecchio for UMass Dartmouth. We expected we might see him today, and here he is, entering into a first and second one-out jam. The ERA is at 7.59, but that's obviously inflated. He's had 7 appearances, 10 2/3 innings, given up 9 runs on 11 hits. But Corsairs going to him here, trying to get out of trouble. Gianni Zarilli will be the man he faces. This is a guy who works in the upper 80s, good slider, and another guy who likes to work fast. But he's going to be out of the stretch here with 2 runners on. Here comes Zarilli. Bob Prince, George Bent, and the UMD staff did not want Bruning to get another look at Gianni. So they go to Del Vecchio, see if it pays off. And he's going to bluff second here. Irvine, who doubled, represents the tying run. Duco, the go-ahead run at first. And Zarilli takes a fastball high. Infield at double play depth. Del Vecchio trying to get a ground ball somewhere. Get his team out of this. Here's the 1-0. And high and tight, almost hit him. Tyrone is on deck. This is the part of the order that UMass Boston wants up here. Trying to tie this game up or even more. 2-0. Way outside, 3-0. And Del Vecchio hasn't been particularly close. Kicks the dirt in frustration. Trying to avoid a 4-pitch walk coming out of the bullpen door, and he can't. So Zarilli takes the free pass, and once again, UMass Boston has the bases loaded. This time with 1 out and their best hitter, Tyrone, coming to the plate. 1 for 2 with a ground rule double his last time up against Bruning. It's Irvine at third, Duco at second, Zarilli at first. And Tyrone looking to turn this game around. 4 runs batted in on the season. And he swings and grounds one to first. Throw is going to come to the plate. It is in plenty of time for the out. So they get the lead man. A couple of guys in the UMass Dartmouth infield think they have a double play. Vasquez at first, he was very close to that bag. If he touched first base, then that would be a double play and they'd be out of the inning. And on first look, I don't think he did touch the bag. We're going to take another look if we can, but he was right there. I wasn't sure why he didn't touch first base. If he had, that's a double play and they'd be out of the inning here. So that is a huge play in this game. Again, we'll take another look if we can, but here is Corliss now. Bases loaded, 2 out. They got the lead runner at the plate. Irvine for the second out. Everybody else advances. And here's Corliss, who's 0 for 2. That misses high. Want to know the count on Corliss. And a fastball right there for a strike. So Del Vecchio trying to work around the mistake made defensively. I mean, that absolutely should have been a double play, but Vasquez, to my view, didn't touch first. Now a throw back to second, and they pick him off. Zerilli leading a little too far off second base, and Del Vecchio with the turnaround picks him off. Beacons almost had a runner picked off by Baker at second earlier in the game, and this time they do get Zerilli. Boy, what a way to end that rally. Del Vecchio comes out of the pen, and in unorthodox fashion, he gets out of it. Still 2-1 as we go to the sixth.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Okay, we come back for inning number 6. Let's take a look at what happened here to end the last half inning. Here was the play at first base where the Corsairs thought they had a double play, but you're going to see Vasquez, he doesn't touch the bag there. He never touched the bag at first base. So that was clearly the right call as they got the lead runner, and here was the pickoff play at second that ended the inning. So that was handled exactly right by the umpires, as here's Mike Nell, takes ball one high. Cianciolo back out there, breaking ball in for a strike. Still a 2-1 game. Game 1 of a doubleheader, 2 9-inning games here. And this one already into the 6th. Good breaking ball here, and it's in there for strike 2. Beacons twice have had opportunities with the bases loaded today and have not come through in either of them. And getting picked off a second base to end that last half inning is just a killer. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit well into left, but right at Thomas Q. One away. Hit it well, but right at Q and left, and here is DJ Perron coming in. There is some action in the UMB bullpen right now. A couple guys who just started throwing, and Perron hits one right off the glove of Zerilli. It's short, and the throw across is not going to be in time. That'll go as a base hit. That was a ball that Zerilli had to leap up to try to catch. Almost did, but it goes in and out. And Perron ends up with a base hit. So one down. And here's Mitch Baker, who's 1 for 2. And they bluff at first base, but kind of crab walking back into the bag is Perron. That did not look normal at all. His teammates in the dugout are laughing at him, but he's kind of getting up slowly here. He was caught in the mud. A very awkward way to get back to first base, but he did get back. They never threw over there. Now we'll see if he wants to run. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Baker was trying to make this a 4-1 game right there. Been a good day for the right-handed pull hitters. Get one up in the air, out to left center. Got a good shot to get out of here. 1-1, misses high. Cianciolo looked like he landed a little awkwardly that time. He kind of glanced back down at his landing spot on the dirt after his foot came down. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses low. No, you're not trying to hand UMass Dartmouth any more here. Beacon's trying to keep this right where it's at, but one more ball, and the Corsairs are going to have a couple guys on. Runner goes on the 3-1 pitch. Throw down's going to go into center field, and now getting up and seeing it late is Perron. Possible play at third, but he dives in there. He saw that late. That's the second throw from Kites that got away from him into center field, but Perron didn't see it initially. He kind of turned around, and I'm sure he heard his teammates in the dugout saying, hey, it's into center. But he was still able to get into third. Thought it might be a close play over there, but the throw was off. So it's a stolen base and another E2 on Kites on the throw. And now Perron, with a huge add-on run, is 90 feet away. Infield comes in for the Beacons. And it's 3-2 on Baker. And a big pitch here from Cianciolo. And he struck him out on the outside black. Huge punch out, 2 down. Now the infield can back up. And here's Vasquez. And Cianciolo was motioning for Kites to go out there. He had to call him out 3 times before Nico figured out what he was doing. So they'll chat about this. And a big spotlight here on Kites behind the plate, especially if Cianciolo is going to be throwing any breaking balls. You do not want one to get away here. Wild pitch or a passed ball means a run. And Vasquez has been troubled today, a single and a triple. And he takes one in the dirt. Well played, though, by Kites. 1-0. Coming. Breaking ball misses away. You have Andrew Bryant, DH, on deck. Vasquez, who's 2 for 2 today. 2-0, misses up and away. So 3-0, and you wonder if they just are resigned to the fact that they're not going to give Vasquez anything to hit here. He's had some good looks in this one. Let's see, 3-0. That one's a get-me-over for a strike. Do they give into him on 3-1? Perron, the runner at third. 3-1. Chopped foul back to the plate. So a full count. Cianciolo trying to get through 6. That's a huge run standing over there at third base. 3-2. But Vasquez has been on every fastball that he's seen from Cianciolo here in this one. Makes you wonder if all Tim can throw here is a break ball to him on the 3-2 pitch. Does he dare go with another heater? About to find out. He does not, and it's right back up the middle for a base hit. By the dive of Sullivan, Vasquez is 3 for 3, and it's a 3-1 game. What an at-bat from Vasquez. And just as we suspected, he did not go with a fastball on the 3-2 count. It was a breaking ball, but he was right on that one too. And that's going to be the day for Cianciolo. Igabrot coming to the hill, and he is going to take his starter out, who very nearly got through 6 innings, but it was not to be. Right-hander coming out of the pen to face Andrew Bryant. Tell you about that when we come back. 3-1 in Game 1.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
There is the new man on the mound for the Beacons. It's the right-hander Alessio Presamarita. Another one of the newcomers to this Beacons bullpen. A sophomore, 5'11", 190 out of East Hartford, Connecticut. Big role for him on this staff. His second appearance, 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. His first time out. So the ERA is at 9 right now. But again, only 1 appearance, so it's going to be skewed. And he enters this ball game with Jose Vasquez aboard at first and Andrew Bryant, the DH, set to stand in. He was 0 for 1 against Cianciolo, and he was also hit by a pitch. The lefty batter here faces the sophomore right-hander. And a fastball misses away. UMass Dartmouth has out-hit UMass Boston 6-3 in this one. And the Beacons have committed 3 errors which have been very costly, as this one is skied into shallow left. Q coming out, calls for it, makes the catch. So Pressa Morita does his job to strand the runner. But another run comes in for the Corsairs. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 UMass Dartmouth in game 1.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Back we come for the bottom of the 6th. And Del Vecchio back out there. He will face 4, 5, and 6 here. Corliss, Hugh, and Kites. The hitters do. Beacons down by 2. His first one misses high. Corliss was the man left stranded at the plate when Gianni Zarilli was picked off of second base to end the bases-loaded threat in the last inning. 1-1 is hit well into right center. Perron going back, still going back. It's over his head, and it one-hops into the bullpen. Well, the wind played tricks with that one. That's the first time we've seen it blowing out to right, having an impact. But Perron, the right fielder, was in full retreat mode, and he had no chance at coming up with that one. So just what the Beacons needed, a leadoff double when they're down by 2 here as we work into the late stages of game 1. Here's Thomas Q, big swing, and came up empty. A grounder to third and a walk for Q in this one. That wind, again, we came on the air talking about how it wasn't much of a factor at first pitch. But very soon after that, I mean, like right after I said it, it became one. Blowing out to left, left center. And now, as we move into the 6th inning, it's blowing out more toward right. 1-1, misses away. The 2-1 pitch coming to Q. Long stare in here from Del Vecchio, and this is grounded left side by the dive of Ramirez, base hit. They're going to have to hold Corliss at third. Now they have the runner caught in a pickle between first and second, and he's going to dive back into first safely. Well, that ended up being a mess. So it's a single for Q. He tried to take second. The throw came in there. They were trying to get Q caught in a rundown so that they could sneak Corliss home. But the look back toward Corliss at third meant he couldn't charge home. And then Q, of all things, makes it back into first. And for a second, I thought they might appeal down toward third here to see if they could call Corliss out, but they're not going to do that. So they're on the corners. Kites, the batter. And he takes inside. Huge opportunity here for the Beacons. This one hit up the middle by the dive of DiSarcina. That's into center for a base hit. Ball is bobbled by Klett. Throw into third, cut off, throw to second, late, and the Beacons have a big-time rally brewing here. So a base hit and an RBI for Kites. He takes second on the throw to third. Q is in there safely. And all of a sudden, the defense for UMass Dartmouth very sloppy here in the 6th inning. And it has handed UMass Boston a golden opportunity to take their first lead of the game with Aiden Blake, who takes low. So it's Q at third, Kites at second, infield is in. And we'll see if the Beacons have a contact play on if there's a ball hit at one of the infielders here. That misses away. Still nobody out. Beacons trying to get on top and move into prime position to steal this first game. Now it's 3-0. Believe there's another right-hander up down in the UMass Dartmouth pen. See what happens if there's a walk here. 3-0 is in for a strike. Jason Sullivan, who has struck out twice today, he's on deck. (3-1) pitch. Big cut. Came up empty, and it's 3-2. Cue the runner at third. See if he's off on contact. 3-2 is ripped foul. (3-2) pitch coming. Missed high, ball 4. And they're loaded with nobody out. And no movement out to the mound, so Del Vecchio looks like will be allowed to stay in there. They're going to pinch hit for Sullivan here. So this is Nick Palma who's going to be given the at-bat here. One of the few seniors on this roster. 6'1", 230 out of, 5'11", 185 from Peabody. And they're going to go out and meet now. George Bent, the pitching coach, will, with Del Vecchio, and he's going to call the infield in. So Palma, 5'11", 185, Peabody, Massachusetts. The senior outfielder slash first baseman, he's going to be given this at bat in the number 8 spot in the order in place of Sullivan. So we'll see what Brendan Eigebrodt wants to do when the Beacons go back out into the field for the 7th inning, if Palma comes into the game or if they make another switch. But Sullivan is done for game 1. You got Q at third, Kites at second, Blake at first, and fresh off the bench, here is Palma with the bases loaded and nobody out. His 11th at-bat of the season. He has 1 run batted in, and he fouls off the first one. He's hitting 200 in those 10 at-bats, with just 2 hits, both of them singles. The 0-1. Grounded right side. It's going to be knocked down by Vasquez. Throw goes to second. They're out there. Throw back to third. Gets away. And now Q's going to charge home. And the Beacons take the lead. Man, this sloppy defense continues for the Corsairs. They are just throwing the ball all over the place. That play at second was close. They called Blake out at second. That was a very close play. Igabrod is now out there to chat. So let's see what they call here. It should be 4-3. That's what the scoreboard says. So Q is in to score. Kites came around as well. Blake was called out at second. And then Palma was credited with a single, and then he goes to second on the throw. So Blake is the guy who's out 3-6. That play was very close. And now Palma is going to be taken right out for a pinch runner. And that is number 2 for the Beacons. That's Ryan Leung. So he's running at second base. Ball 1 to Ben Irvine. So Leung would likely stay in the game at second base. There's one out here. 0-1 misses away. That is a strike to make it 2-1. This Corsairs defense got off to a great start, sensational start with the diving play by Eric Ramirez that saved a couple runs earlier. But it has let them down big time as we've gone on. Two-two pitch to Irvine. Is swung on and laced into right center. That's a base hit, and another run will come in. Leung will be in to score, and it's a 2-run lead for the Beacons at 5-3. Irvine now 2 for 3 in the bottom of the order, getting it done for UMass Boston as Bob Prince is headed out toward the mound. We're going to see another switch here. So Del Vecchio is done. It is a 4-run 6th inning to this point for UMass Boston, and they are not done yet. Del Vecchio coming out. New pitcher coming in. We'll take a timeout. Beacons have totally turned this one around. They lead at 5-3.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
This was not exactly part of the plan for UMass Dartmouth. This is their high-end late inning reliever here, Robbie Carrillo. See him 2-2 with an ERA of 5.4 coming in. This is a guy they like to use at the end of games either in a save situation or a tie game. Upper 80s, low 90s is what he'll throw. It's a guy who will change arm angles pretty frequently, especially when he throws his breaking ball. But he is forced into action here in the 6th inning of game 1 of a doubleheader after the infield defense for the Corsairs has just imploded here in this inning. 4 runs are across for the Beacons to this point, and Duco, now the batter, a big swing and a miss. Go back to the outstanding start that UMass Dartmouth got from Ryan Bruning, and you never would have thought they'd be trailing 5-3 here in the 6th inning, but that's what's happened. The Beacons taking advantage of some sloppy defense, being aggressive out on the bases. Here's the 0-2, and he just missed the inside corner. One-two coming to Duco. A long look in, and now a look back over to first. This is a half inning that seemingly just won't end for UMass Dartmouth. Beacons would love to see it continue. Runner goes, pitches way outside, and then a bobble behind the plate by Baker. He never got a clean handle on it. Otherwise, I think they probably have a play there at second. But it's a stolen base for Irvine, and that takes the double play out of the question here. And 2-2 to Duco is chopped back up the middle. Ramirez to his left, long throw, but he got him. And down to third base goes Irvine. Two down, and now we're back to Zerilli, who has also been all over this game for good and bad. Has a home run. He was picked off of second base as the breaking ball is in there for strike one. The Corsairs going to basically their closer here, trailing by 2 in the 6th inning of game 1 of the doubleheader. They are trying to keep this game right where it is as the 0-1 misses high. Game 2 set to begin around 3 o'clock. 1-1. Check swing. He foul tipped it. So it's 1-2. Beacons trying to add on more. 1-2 misses high. Well, it's been a very long wait in the dugout for Alessio Presamarita. But when he goes back out there, he's going to be staked to at least a 2-run lead. Wave and a miss, and that's exactly what it will be. So Carrillo comes in and keeps it a 2-run game, but a massive inning for the Beacons. 4 runs come in, and we go to the 7th. In game 1 of the doubleheader, it's 5-3, UMass Boston.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
On to inning number 7. And it's 8-9-1 now for UMass Dartmouth, trying to recover after what was a disastrous bottom of the 6th inning for them. Pressa Morita fires up and away, ball 1 to Tucker Heatherman. "1-0 is cut on and missed. Heatherman, Klett, and DiSarcina. Corsairs here in this inning as the 1-1 skips in there. Two 2-1. And it bent back over the inside part of the plate, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Full count. Not want to put the leadoff man on here. Especially with a leadoff walk. Here's 3-2. Up and away. That's exactly what he did. So Heatherman takes the leadoff free pass. And here comes Matthew Klett. And they're going to run for Heatherman here at first. So he is taken out. And you're going to have Tyler Lyons, junior outfielder out of Wallingford, Connecticut, who takes his place. So Lyons aboard at first as the pinch runner. Here's Klett. Blake at third, in on the grass. And that's a strike on the outer part of the plate. Boy, he just nailed the outside corner, not by much. Lyons, the runner at first. They're going to check on him. Lyons is a guy who will run. He has 2 steals this year, hasn't been caught. But you're down by 2 here. And here's the bunt down toward third. It is just going to roll foul. Boy, Klett almost got a base hit out of that. You're down by 2. You're bunting for a base hit there because obviously you need more than just that run at first. Oh, 0-2 pitch. From the looks of it, nobody else up behind Pressa Morita right now. But for the moment, this is his game. 1-2. Wave and a miss and a big punch out as Klett goes down, 1 away. Now back up to the top of the order again with DiSarcina. 0 for 3 in this one. But he is the tying run at the plate here. And he takes one high and tight. Beacon's trying to get to 3-2 on this young season. Again, such a disparity in the number of games played between them and a lot of other schools in the Little East, including Southern Maine and these Corsairs. This one misses low and away. UMass Dartmouth, as we talked about earlier, is on their 15th game of the season. And the Beacons here on their 5th. Two teams that have had a lot of success over the years. A lot of postseason pedigree. They have played some competitive matchups over the years. Here's a throw down to first, but just getting back is the pinch runner Lyons. Counts 3-0 here. Actually, they're going to say 2-1. Home plate umpire saying 2-1 on DeSarcina. One pitch. Skied it. Right hand side out of play, foul. There are some folks out on the upper level of the parking garage up there. We're watching this one. Again, you're not allowed in the ballpark, but you pretty much are if you're up there. No rule against that. 2-2. Wave and a miss, he got him. So back-to-back strikeouts for Pressa Morita. And there's two down here. So two down, and now a very dangerous man coming to the plate in Eric Ramirez. Has a home run in this one already. That was back in the first inning. Off of the starter, Cianciolo. And he takes a breaking ball up and in. Ramirez here, representing the tying run. Got to be very careful if you're Pressa Morita. Wave and a miss. He was trying to tie it up right there. Went off speed on him as he was looking for the fastball. One pitch, runner goes. Ramirez swings and hits one foul down the third base side. He kind of chopped it. They had the hit run play on there, but it doesn't pay any dividends. So it's 1-2. One-two pitch. Upstairs high. Long look over to first. At 2-2 to Ramirez. Runner goes again. Pitch is low and down into second with a clean theft is Lyons. So that's his third steal of the season, now 3 for 3. Payoff pitch coming. And Ramirez goes down and almost drilled him, and he fires the bat away. he wasn't happy with that. And it was kind of a stare out at Pressa Morita, and he's still looking at him right now as he makes his way down to first. Pressa Morita did well not to react any more than he did because Ramirez was on the verge of losing his mind there. And now Igabrot's going to go out to try and maybe calm Pressa Morita down. I mean, you come in, you almost hit a guy. Obviously, wasn't intentional, but the long stare out there, you don't want too many emotions to get into Pressa Morita's head. So it's first and second. Ramirez is the tying run. And the go-ahead run, Mike Nell, is going to step to the plate here. Guy who has 5 home runs on the season. And he can, with one swing here, put the Corsairs back in the lead. Another big at bat. Can Pressa Morita buckle down and get out of this? And a good breaking ball. Had Nell off balance as he looks back to the home plate umpire and questions it. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball missed away. One pitch. That's a drive. Deep into left. Back at the wall. It is gone. Home run number 6. And this game seesaws again. It's 6-5 UMass Dartmouth. And Ramirez with a huge embrace for Nell as he crosses home plate. The Corsairs dugout out there in the line. And this game has swung yet again. It was a straight fastball, straight as can be. And you can't give one of those to Nell. Here's a rip back to the screen by Perron. Back and forth we go in this one. Oh, 1. Now, you go back to the walks in this inning. The walk issued to Ramirez, the leadoff walk issued to Heatherman that started it. As this one is fouled off of Perron's foot. Nothing good ever comes out of a leadoff walk. That's the old adage. And it certainly played out here in this inning. Against the bottom of the order, Beacons had just come back to take the lead. You can't walk the leadoff man in that situation, and the Corsairs really made it hurt. 0-2, misses low. 2-2 the count. And now Pressa Morita just trying to get out of here. Another full count. He's had a hard time throwing strikes when he's needed to. Still nobody up behind him right now. Game 1 of a doubleheader. 3-2. Did he go? Are they going to check? He did. And that will end the inning. Boy, if they hadn't appealed to first base, he was going to be on. But it is a strikeout to end the inning. But UMass Dartmouth turns this game around again. 3-run homer for Mike Nell. It's 6-5 as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Bottom of the 7th, and Robbie Carrillo, who we mentioned had to come into the game in an atypical situation for him, is now in exactly the type of situation he usually thrives in a spot where he can bring this team hopefully to a victory for him. He's got a 1-run lead, and the 0-1 is a strike to Curtis Tyrone. That's how quickly things can change in a game like this. He's pitching down 2 when he comes in, and now he's up 1. 0-2 is skied in the air to center. Not well hit, though, and Klett is there to put it away. One man down. And now Craig Corliss will be the batter. 1 for 3 with a double. Beacons just need to get somebody back on here to try and put some heat back on UMass Dartmouth, who has sucked all the air out of the balloon here with that massive home run by Nell. Not want to go down in order here. 0-1 misses. Bullpen does have some action in it right now for the Beacons. Got a right-hander throwing out there. Nobody up behind Carrillo right now, as he misses outside. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Breaking ball. Didn't miss by much. 3-1. And he walked him. So the tying run is on Corliss, as UMass Boston tries to answer here. Going to bring the go-ahead run to the plate in Thomas Q. Corliss is 0 for 1 this year in stolen bases. As a strike called here to Q. 1 for 2, a single and a walk. And normal-sized lead over there for Corliss as this one is rocketed foul down the third base side. Carrillo does not have any saves to this point in the season, and obviously not a save situation here, but as we said, he's the guy who would be used in that spot for UMass Dartmouth. Oh and 2, and right down the pipe for strike 3 called. Q goes down for out number 2. That'll send in Nico Kites. 1 for 2, an RBI single. He's been hit by a pitch. He's had a couple of errant throws behind the plate today. And he hits this one on one hop out to second. DiSarcina has it, and Carrillo gets through the 7th. Shutdown inning there for Carrillo. We go to inning number 8 in game 1. 6-5 UMass Dartmouth.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Another change here for Brendan Igabrot as Alex Amalfi, the right-hander, will be next in, so he takes over for Pressa Merida. 0-1, ERA at 9 right now. And this is a guy who they have high hopes for on this staff. Igabrot really likes his stuff. One appearance, gave up 5 runs, 3 of them earned in 3 innings. Couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. But he is a guy with one of the better stuff, or some of the best stuff, I should say, on this UMass Boston staff. And he is tasked right now with keeping this a 1-run game at 6-5. He's going to face Baker, Vasquez, and Bryant for UMass Dartmouth. And his first pitch is a fastball that got over. 0-1. Baker today, 1 for 3 with a single. Came around to score a run as it's 1 ball and 1 strike now. Here's the 1-1. Big cut. Now it's 1-2. But they are not gun shy in this UMass Dartmouth order. They take big hacks. 1-2, up and away. So you figure Amalfi, if things go well here, could probably finish out this game and take the Beacons into game 2 when Dylan Ryan is projected to start, as this one's popped up in foul ground. Nobody can get to it into the Bermuda Triangle there on the right-hand side, as you had Duco, Leung, and Corliss all going over there. Corliss was the closest to it, but it was still out of play. UMass Dartmouth with their closer in the game, up by a run. And the 1-2. Wave and a miss, he got him. Good heater. And Amalfi strikes out his first man. Strikeout number 6 for Amalfi. He had 5 in that aforementioned first appearance. Here's Vasquez, 3 for 3. 2 singles and a triple. And that one just missed high. Breaking ball dipped down a little further this time for a called strike. Vasquez didn't think so. He thought it was away. So did the Corsair dugout. 1-1. That misses way downstairs. In the bottom of the 8th, it will be Blake, Leung, and Irvine. 2-1 misses inside. The 3-1 pitch misses, and Vasquez, is on again for the 4th time today. They just cannot get him out. So he's aboard with a walk. And now it's Bryant, the DH, who has popped to second, been hit by a pitch, and flied to left. And this one in the dirt. Nice block by Kites. But it's 1-0. Vasquez will run. He's 1 for 2 in steals. And he represents a huge insurance run in this game right now if he wants to go. 1-0. He doesn't take off. Pitches in the dirt again. And Kites getting down there. And now Kites wants to go out for a chat. He's going to bring the infield in here. And just trying to calm Amalfi down. They cannot afford to let this lead get any bigger. Said that on a couple of occasions today. But all of the air came out of the balloon for UMass Boston after they had that huge 4-run 6th inning. The 3-run homer by Mike Nell in the 7th has made the task difficult here. Trying to take game 1 of the doubleheader. 1-0 is chopped to the right side. They're going to go to second to get the lead runner. Throw back to first. Not in time. So Bryant will reach on the fielder's choice. Corliss with a strong throw down to second. Able to get Vasquez the lead runner, but that's all they get. And this will send in Tyler Lyons, who came in and ran for Tucker Heatherman back last inning, then stayed in the game to play left field. 1-0 on him. 1-0 pitch. Caught the inside corner, 1-1. Lions this season a 188 hitter in 16 at-bats. But he does have a home run and a couple of runs batted in. 1-1 dips low. Two 2-1 pitch. 3-1, and now it gets away from Kites, and down to second goes Bryant. So on the wild pitch, the go-ahead run gets into scoring position, and you could hear some guys in the UMass Dartmouth dugout shouting out, one pitch, one spot. That's what Lyons is looking for here. If he doesn't get that one pitch, he's taken on the 3-1 count. See what he gets. He did get that pitch, and he missed it. Three and two. Amalfi trying to keep it a one-run game. And instead, it's a rope into the corner and left. This will make it 7-5. In to score is Bryant. It's an RBI double. And it's 7-5 Corsairs. Tyler Lyons, his first at-bat of the game, rips an RBI double. And we're going to have, I believe, another pinch hitter here. Matthew Klett was due up. And instead, we're going to see Nate Stewart, who has one hit in 10 at-bats this year, has played in 8 of their 15 games. But you can tell by looking at this guy, there's a lot of power there. As the first pitch misses downstairs. Stewart, 6'2", 240 from Noonan, Georgia. Do not want to miss over the plate to this guy. And here's a throw back to second. They have the runner picked. Lions trying to get down to third, and they finally caught up to him. So a pickoff play to second ends another inning. And this time it goes in the Beacon's favor. So they pick off Lions at second. However, an insurance run comes across. The RBI double for Lions. We go to the bottom of the 8th. UMass Boston down 2 and down to their final 6 outs in Game 1.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
All right, as we come back for the bottom of the 8th, Aiden Blake will lead things off. Another change in the UMass Dartmouth outfield to tell you about. Carrillo is still out there, and he fires ball 1 inside. So Tyler Lyons has moved over to center because they pinch hit for Klett there to end the last inning. So it's Chase Carey, number 7, who's now in left. They just made that switch. So Carey, a freshman from Colchester, Vermont, into the game for the Corsairs after we saw Stewart pinch hit for Klett as the 2-0 is right there for strike. Rillo, the closer, trying to fulfill that role right now. This one kicks off his shin right to Vasquez at first for the out. Well, you could not have had a better ricochet than that. It'll go as a 1-3 putout. And Blake goes down. So this will send in Ryan Leung for his first at-bat of the day since he came in to replace Nick Palma, who had hit for Jason Sullivan. He came in and ran for Palma on the bases, staying in to play second base, just his 5th at-bat of the year as he takes a strike. He's scored a run, walked a couple of times, but does not have a hit. Carrillo just ripping and ripping right now as this one misses high. 7-5 UMass Dartmouth in the 8th. This game swung back and forth multiple times in the middle innings. But the Corsairs in good position right now. 1-1 is fouled off to the right. One-two pitch. Didn't chase it. And stays up there 2-2. Bottom of the order right now for the Beacons, which has been pretty productive today. Ben Irvine on deck is 2-3. 2-2. Right there. Strike 3 called, and that'll sit Leung down. Fastball right there at the bottom of the zone, just nasty. So 2 up, 2 down in the 8th, and here's Irvine. A double and an RBI single, along with a ground out to first today. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. On the breaking ball that time from Carrillo. Both teams' bullpens with some action going. 0-1 will miss low. Interesting, though, if they ride Carrillo here all the way through this first game, which obviously you would think make him unavailable for game 2. 1-1 is a strike on the outside corner. Irvine didn't think so. Boy, it just clipped the outer part of the zone, but Carrillo got the call. And now trying to get a punch out. Send game 1 to the 9th inning. And a pop-up. Left side, is it going to stay in play? It is, and it turned around. Nell at third base, but he made the catch anyway. What a play to retire the side. The wind again playing tricks. But UMass Dartmouth gets out of it And we go into the 9th inning with a 7-5 lead for UMass Dartmouth.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
All right, on to the 9th, and here is Chase Carey, who will take the at-bat here after coming into the game in left field to replace Klett in this spot in the order. And Amalfi fires strike one. You kind of feel a little bit here on the UMass Dartmouth side for Nate Stewart. Came up to pinch hit. He never got to swing the bat. And then he was immediately replaced. So, almost as if he was never in this game. But nonetheless, Carey is the new left fielder after Lyons moved over to center. Here's the 0-2 from Amalfi, and it is strike three called. Good pitch. On the outside corner, and Carey is gone, one away. Send in D. Sarcina. JR is 0 for 4. Grounder to short, grounder to third, a pop to short, and a strikeout his last time up. Break ball missed. All indications are Robbie Carrillo is going to go back out there for the bottom of the 9th. When he does, he's going to be facing the top of the UMass Boston order. 1-0 is popped up high into right. Duco has plenty of time to get under it, and he makes the play. So 0 for 5 for D. Sarcina. Another chance now for Eric Ramirez. Home run, a single, and a walk in this one as Ramirez takes high. By the way, correction to make. It was not Mike Nell who made that terrific catch to end the last inning. In fact, it was number 8, Andrew Posse, who has come out into the on-deck circle. He came in to play third base. Here's a fly ball to right. Going back on it is Duco, and the wind tried to blow that away from him. But he managed to catch up to it for out number 3, and that's a quick 1-2-3 9th inning for Amalfi. Well, game 1 comes down to this. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 7-5 UMass Dartmouth trying to hang on in the first game of the doubleheader.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
All right, on to the bottom of the ninth inning. UMass Boston trailing by 2. And Robbie Carrillo trying to put this one away as he faces Duco, Zerilli, and Tyrone. And Duco taps the first pitch foul up the first base side. These two teams bunched up in the middle of the Little East Conference standings right now. UMass Boston came in 5th place. UMass Dartmouth had the 6th spot. Only the top 6 teams will make the postseason tournament this year. They are right at the edge of it right now as this one is popped up. Shallow left. Ramirez, the shortstop's going to give way, and the catch is made by Carey. 1 up, 1 down in the 9th. And Carrillo has set down 5 in a row here as he gets set to face Zerilli. Beacons have to get somebody on to have a chance. Tyrone on deck. Big swing and a miss by Zerilli. Game 2 will start roughly 25 to 30 minutes after this one ends. 0-1 is right there for a strike. It's 0-2. Boy, Carrillo is exuding confidence out there right now. And his team is riding him. 2 outs away from taking game 1 of the double dip. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? They're going to check. Yes, he did. Nasty off-speed pitch from Carrillo. And there's 2 men out in the 9th. So here's Tyrone. Certainly has a lot of power, but they didn't get anybody on in front of him to give him a chance to tie this game. Carrillo trying to end it right here as he fires ball 1. A loss would knock the Beacons down to 2-3. 1-0 pitch is right there on the inside corner, 1-1. You can see why UMass Dartmouth likes this guy at the end of games with his stuff. 1-1 is chopped back up the middle. Ramirez to his left, long throw across, and UMass Dartmouth takes game 1 of the doubleheader. And Ramirez almost got run over there by his teammate D. Sarcina, but nonetheless, the Corsairs take game 1. That is a painful loss for UMass Boston, as the last 8 hitters go down in succession, and Robbie Carrillo takes UMass Dartmouth to the finish line. So the Corsairs improve to 7-9, 5-3 in conference play, and the Beacons drop to 2-3, and 2-3 in conference play as well for them. Well, it is a game that was defined by the middle innings, particularly the top half of the 7th, after UMass Boston scored 4 of their 5 runs in the 6th, taking advantage of bad defense on the UMD side. A 2-out, 3-run home run for Mike Nell off of Alessia Presamarita, and that was that. UMass Dartmouth added a run in the 8th, and Carrillo finished it off. 7-5 is the final in game 1. Again, we'll have game 2 coming up in about 25-30 minutes or so. We'll get you the lineups for that one when we can. For now, we will pause for some highlights of this first game. So that is the story here in Game 1. The huge 3-run homer by Mike Nell catapulting UMass Dartmouth to this victory. 7-5 the final. 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Corsairs, 5 runs on 8 hits, and 3 errors for the UMass Boston Beacons. Again, UMass Dartmouth now is 7-9, 5-3 in conference play, and the Beacons are 2-3 and 2-3 in conference play as well. Game 2 will be on the way shortly, hopefully just about 20-25 minutes or so from now. Robbie Carrillo, the winner for UMass Dartmouth. Alessio Presamarita takes the loss for the Beacons. Game 2 will begin shortly. We'll be back with the starting lineups